Emmets Homebrew, coming at you with a beer review. Man, it was a beautiful morning. It's cooled off. It's about 6 p.m. now. But, you know, it's cool enough I thought I could get a stout. So I've got the huge Arker. This is a bourbon barrel-aged Imperial Stout from Anderson Valley Brewing out of Boonville, California. Boonville. Actually, I've been through Boonville a few times before. This is aged 6 months in wild turkey bourbon barrels. So let's get this one open and give it a try. I poured semi-aggressive at the end, so we've got a full finger head, some big rocky bubbles on top, but it actually looks really creamy within that, and it's pretty much black, I'd say. Now this is an Imperial IPA. It's 13.5% ABV, so it should make for a relaxing evening. Let's get a nose on it. Oh man, that's not too bad. I mean, right away you get the bourbon, of course. You get the wild turkey bourbon, but you also get some nice chocolate, a bit of roast, even a hint of coffee. I'm gonna get another nose on this. Oh, that's nice. There's a bittersweet chocolate on there. I'm getting a little bit of dark fruits coming through, some date sugar on there, and I get a little bit of even a hint of prune on there, like splashes of raisin, maybe currant. I'll probably get more as it warms up. And berries. That's interesting. It's like I get like a black cherry and some blackberries, like a dark cherry and some blackberries. So that's kind of fun as well. I'm gonna go ahead and charge right in, so cheers. Wow, that's very nice. Now, this has a little more age than some of the people that had it right fresh, and I've heard from people that were super boozy. The booze are there, but there's so much more going on besides that. And it is kind of distinct. This is wild turkey bourbon. I've had it before, and it does have that taste to it, but there's a bit of woodiness to it. Woody, oaky type flavors, slight bit of tannins on it, but it's pretty smooth at this point. And there's just such nice chocolate flavors coming through. I mean, it's kind of a mix of like dark chocolate and that semi-sweet chocolate, kind of a cocoa powder as well. Man, you get a mix of sweet flavors too, like that date sugar, some burnt sugars, some molasses, and I'm getting like char taste on this now. Getting a bit of char on there, so some dark flavors, like you know, a little bit of a campfire wood flavor on it as well. It's actually a moderate carbonation on there, pretty decent carbonation, and it's on the lighter side of a full body. It's there, but you can tell that that alcohol thinned the beer down a bit, being in those barrels with alcohol in it, but really pleasant beer. All right, I'm going to take a little time with this, and I'll come back with some final thoughts and numbers. I've taken a little time here out on the deck, just enjoying this one, and it's a nice beer, very good beer. It's interesting. It hasn't really, as it's warmed, it hasn't really gotten fuller in the mouthfeel like many do. It's still on the very light end. I'd still call it a full. It still coats your mouth pretty well. It's interesting. The flavors that seem to dominate now are the well, that wild turkey. It's there, along with the char flavors picked up more, and then interesting enough, licorice. Licorice has really come into play on this now. There's still enough chocolate, a bit of roast and things. Somehow I feel like it's missing something to push its way up in the upper class. It's the body's just a little too thin. I think they kept a lot of the bourbon on there. No question about that. And but those other things, factors, there could be maybe a hint more chocolate. Maybe they could have put some oats in to thicken that body, but just maybe a more a thick, lush feel on the mouth would have been nice. But the flavors are really wonderful all the same. All right, so how do we rate this in style? I mean, we're so spoiled with so many amazing beers these days. I think it's an excellent beer, but I think it's on the lower end of that, I would say, for an Imperial Stout. I'm going to give it a 91 for style for Imperial Stouts. Overall, Wow, very, very good beer. That thinner mouthfeel, the higher licorice, that also still pulls it down. There's so many other great, great beers out there. So I think for overall, I'm going to just drop a notch. I'm going to put it at a 90. It's still an excellent beer. I certainly wouldn't refuse it. I'd drink it again. But there are other big beers to be had that are probably a little better. But I definitely, folks, I wouldn't turn it away. Here it is again. This is the huge Arker Bourbon Barrel-Aged Imperial Stout from Anderson Valley. Life's too short, folks, to drink cheap beer. And I will see you in the next beer review.